Hello again and welcome to the show, everyone. Today we have a special treat as I'm sitting here in studio with two of the finest actors of their generation and the co-stars of the Oscar-winning movie One Battle After Another, that being Leonardo DiCaprio and Benicio del Toro. Gentlemen, thank you for taking the time to sit down and talk with us. It's been a while since we had a chance to do this.
Thanks for having us, Gene.
No problem, Gene. Been a long time.
That's right, not since your big break in The Usual Suspects when you were a young man just coming up in this business.
Oh my goodness, that's quite a long time.
And Leo, I think the last time that you and I actually spoke, you were 25, dating some 25-year-old whose name I can't even recall.
That's actually incorrect. When I was 25, I was dating Gisele Bündchen, who was 20. We stopped dating when she hit 25, but at that point I was 30.
Oh, well, I'm sure whoever you're with now has aged like fine wine and is the perfect companion for a man in his early 50s.
Is that supposed to be some sort of backhanded insult?
Come again?
An insult. Are you trying to call attention to the fact that the girl I'm currently with is ancient?
Not at all. I don't even know who she is.
She's 27, and it's not polite to point out that I'm with someone who's already attended their 5-year college reunion. I mean, Jesus, 5 years out of college. Do you have any idea what the weight of gravity does to a woman's skin in that span?
Leo, I'm sorry, but at 50 years old, what the hell are you doing with someone who's 27?
It was a glitch in the Matrix. Usually happens when the Illuminati reset the simulation and there's a sudden deviation in expected code. In this particular case, when the glitch happens, I wind up dating someone over 25. I mean, yuck.
Let's move on, shall we? Now that your movie One Battle After Another has received an Oscar for Best Picture, what can you tell us about the making of the film?
We filmed mostly throughout California and some areas in El Paso. El Paso, as you know, is not a sanctuary city for undocumented persons, and so it was the perfect place to capture the crimes being carried out against the indigenous people of other countries.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, but did you say indigenous people of other countries?
Yes, indigenous people of other countries.
I know it's been a while since I attended university, but if they're indigenous to other countries, wouldn't that make them foreigners here?
I prefer the term indigenous.
Okay, then let's talk about filming in a non-sanctuary city. That must have been interesting considering the movie's heavily themed anti-ICE message.
Free borders, free bodies, free choices, and free from fear.
Right, just like the movie stated. And what was it like getting into character for a part like that?
I just imagine myself as a guilty white liberal who believes borders are suddenly oppressive to indigenous people from other countries after the Democrats recently told me to think that.
That's interesting that you'd mention this Democratic shift in philosophy because if I'm not mistaken, it was Hillary Clinton who campaigned in 2016 on secure borders. Would you call the movie's contradictory viewpoint a sign of the times?
I have a device in my left ear that's directly connected to one of my handlers, and he's saying the answer is yes.
Your handler? Mr. Del Toro, I'm interviewing you for your thoughts on the movie, not your handler's.
My handler's thoughts are my thoughts.
I see. And Mr. DiCaprio, what about you?
Same. My handler's male and over 25, so that's how you know I'm not being compromised sexually.
Unbelievable. Anyway, what was it like working with Teyana Taylor, the multi-hyphenate professional who works in a number of different professional industries as a singer, songwriter, dancer, and now actor?
I'm sorry, Gene, but are you implying that Teyana looks like Lamar Jackson?
What?
Lamar Jackson, you know, the Baltimore Ravens quarterback.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never mentioned anything about Lamar Jackson or the Baltimore Ravens. I listed her professions, none of which included sports, and I wanted to know what it was like working with someone like that.
Someone like that? Come on, Gene. I thought you were more open-minded than this.
Open-minded?
Is that why you didn't like our movie, Gene? Because you're not open-minded?
Okay, this is getting a little bizarre.
Leo just confessed to you that he's dating a 27-year-old because of a glitch in the Matrix. On your show, you called our movie monotonous and inexplicably praised. Was that a glitch, Gene? Did you not like our movie because of a glitch in the Matrix?
First of all, it was Roger who said that. And secondly, yes, I happen to agree that the movie fell short of what I normally expect of a Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Okay, let's talk about that. Tell us exactly what you didn't like, because we'd love to know, since our movie just won Best Picture from the Academy.
Well, for starters, the beginning of the movie is overloaded with physical conflict where we get a 25-minute montage of the French 75 in constant combat sequences that rob the audience of critical moments that could be better spent establishing the characters. There's too many physical battles and too few internal struggles and interpersonal tensions. And what the hell was Paul Thomas Anderson thinking using a montage so early in a film when it should only be used as a mid-movie plot device to give the audience a sense of time passing?
I can't answer that. I guess you'll have to ask PTA, or my handler if you like. He's in my ear right now telling me you need to watch where you're going with this.
Excuse me, but you can tell your handler that I'll say whatever's on my mind. Free bodies, free choices, and free from fear, remember?
Gene, that's just something we said in a movie. I mean, for Christ's sakes, we set the beginning of this movie in the 90s and told the audience these guys were freedom fighters in a decade when everyone would have laughed at the French 75 for being a bunch of weirdos whose political beliefs made no practical sense.
A bunch of weirdos. Are you saying you don't agree with the movie's support for open borders?
Just a minute. Okay. My handler is saying don't answer that question. So what else didn't you like about our movie?
I thought I was the one asking the questions, but if you must know, the movie doles out a severe case of emotional fatigue that numbs us to the action. Hence the monotony Roger touched on when your movie was mentioned on the show. Great stories also contain a clearly defined central idea or question that gives it narrative structure. But because your movie is dominated by, as the title indicates, one battle after another, the narrative focus blurs into something purely episodic rather than purposeful. And so the question I'd ask the two of you is, what thematic focus is this movie going for?
Beats the hell out of me. I just read the script and thought running around in a bathrobe would be kind of artsy and make me look relatable to the average sucker in life.
Benicio, your take on this?
Hey, man, it's like Leo said. I read the script and figured DiCaprio running around in a bathrobe would be a ticket to an Oscar nomination.
And so it was, to the confusion of myself and anyone with a working pair of eyes.
Okay, so you thought the movie lacked thematic structure and the characters' internal battles weren't fully explored. Is that all?
Not by a long shot. Most of the dramatic beats were simply presented rather than earned. Perfidia's erratic actions feel more like chaotic plot devices than fully fleshed out choices. While the film presents the betrayal of her comrades and abandonment of her daughter, it doesn't deeply explore why she makes that emotional and ideological shift. Likewise, the Sean Penn character's reasons for wanting to belong to an underground Aryan group aren't fully explained or explored in a way that feels coherent. Except for the usual reason Hollywood gives, the character being white and male. And then there's the Bob character, whose decades-long disillusionment isn't even explored following the unexplored reason for his disillusionment, which was Perfidia's betrayal. What the hell was this unfathomably unworthy Oscar-winning movie even about?
We already told you what the movie's about. Leo DiCaprio, bathrobe. I mean, hello, what more do you need?
Okay, let's stick with that for a moment. As you're both aware, Hollywood is going down in flames, as evidenced by your movie, which lost more money than it took to make. How does it feel to be the last of a dying breed? And by that I mean the last of the industry's bona fide movie stars.
Well, I'd call Timothée Chalamet a legitimate movie star, and he keeps losing at the Oscars, so I'm all for anyone who reminds people of me.
Mr. Del Toro, your take on this?
Me? I don't know. I guess I'm all for any indigenous persons from other countries who might look as good on film as Leonardo does in a bathrobe.
Mother of God, if only I could have my head crushed by the jaws of life. Okay, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we mercifully cut this interview?
Yeah, I just want to say that dating a 27-year-old in no way reflects poorly on the 27-year-old I'm dating. It's not her fault for being 2 years past her expiration, but let's face it, at this point, her youth belongs on a milk carton.
Wow, and you?
Gee, I don't know. It really depends on what my handler would prefer as a soundbite. Hold on, he's saying something. Oh, yeah, free Palestine.
Right, free Palestine, but apparently not Yemen. Okay, let's cut the mic. Gentlemen, it's been real. We're turning the lights off now, so when you leave the room, don't forget to close the door behind you.